I'm Zach Bussard.
I'm Mylan Trostel.
And I'm Vanessa VanHemert.
When asked why we chose this as our investigation, it's safe to say we all shared a common thought.
All of us really enjoyed Mr. McCormick's language arts class during freshman year.
Other than the fact that he's an amazing teacher, there's a certain atmosphere about his room that really helps one perform better.
That's when we got to thinking.
What if the classroom environment has more of an effect on student performance than some might think?
And that's why we decided that our investigation should be on this very subject.
We hypothesized that a relaxing classroom environment would be more beneficial to student performance than a sterile classroom environment.
Basically a room like Mr. McCormick's room here would be a better learning environment than this.
To conduct this experiment, we created a generalized test.
One covering basic knowledge at a freshman level,
along with some trick questions on the side.
We also had the fortune of getting Mr. McCormick involved in our investigation,
as it was his class specifically that we gave the test to.
Mr. McCormick surprised his entire class when he split the amount of students in half and put them into two groups.
One group stayed in the relaxing environment,
while the other ventured into the sterile environment.
With the two groups separated, Mr. McCormick gave the test we created to each of his students.
We told them nothing of what was going on, only that they had as much time as they needed to answer the questions in front of them.
Then, we observed as the students in each group took the test, taking note of any specific behaviors they may have exhibited.
We spent equal amounts of time in both groups noticing how the students acted differently based on their environment.
Surprisingly, the students in the first room, the relaxing environment, were for the most part happily enjoying themselves as they completed the test.
While the students in the second room, the sterile environment, acted like they were in prison.
At this moment, we realized that there is a definite correlation between the students and their environments.
Even if the questions were the same, each group treated it differently.
We even noticed that students in the first room were completing their tests much quicker than those in room number 2.
Some may argue that the speed of one's work capability is entirely based on the individual, which in the most part is true.
But the atmosphere around that individual would definitely contribute to it.
After the test, we asked anyone who volunteered to share their thoughts with us in an interview. Can you describe how you felt while taking that test?
I felt like I know it was kind of like a trick.
I felt a little bit confused.
I felt like it was gonna be something a lot harder than it actually was.
It seemed pretty easy for the most part.
When I took it, I felt rather a bit stressed. But I felt pretty good.
I felt pretty comfortable with my answers. It wasn't that hard for me. The math questions were pretty easy. The embedding the sentence wasn't difficult, but it took me more time than most of the other ones.
Like some of the questions seemed like they might be like trick questions, but and for the most part it was pretty simple, not too hard. Mostly it was kind of fun.
Would you say the classroom environment helped you, or can it help you during school or any sort of performance activity?
In Mr. McCormick's classroom, yes, the lighting and basically the classroom environment did. I really like Mr. McCormick's classroom. It's a lot less of a kind of like sterile room feeling than a lot of classrooms have, so I like that, and it helps me focus.
Yeah, definitely. I like how whenever I need help, I can get help, and it's never too long of a wait if there is one.
Well, sometimes during tests it's like really, really quiet and it kind of stresses you out a little bit, but in ours we were kind of just joking around and there was like music playing, and so it kind of just like, I guess it's just kind of a chill environment, I guess you could say. And since it was an easy test, it was like, I don't want to say fun, but like more enjoyable than normal tests, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't help me if people were sitting next to me, it wouldn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I mean it helped. It was really quiet, just playing. I feel like that the environment did help because I had no distractions.
So you're saying, a more, environment like this where it's more,
yes.
So you're saying more like kind of sterile, very like quiet, very separated, environment helps you learn better?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We were also able to approach Mr. McCormick and acquire his own personal input.
I think what was interesting about this experiment, kind of some of the things that as a teacher I think about, is that it's the comfort level of the students that sometimes helps them perform at a higher level, and that might not fully come through in those test scores per se, but I think that there is a personal feeling of well-being or comfort or confidence that stems from an environment that is less than, to use this, the term sterile, right? White walls, rows, everything is linear and structured. That for some people that does mean comfort, but for true individual learning and expression, I think an environment where it feels less like an institution and more like a living room enhances potential ability. And also, I think something that I might have unintentionally added to your experiment was my attitude towards the test takers, that, you know, in a comfortable room, if the instructor is also comfortable and casual, enhances that comfort level, but I feel like that actually meets the environment, right? That oftentimes a teacher's setup is indicative of their kind of mode of operation, so to speak. That if everything's linear, then you want that kind of structure, you need that kind of focus, you want that quiet. And maybe it does come down to, and I think what you guys were trying to get at, is the type of testing that's going on. If you're needing a more creative exercise, does it help to have an environment that allows a more relaxed feeling? Perhaps. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys come up with.
Overall, we believe the investigation was both a success and a valuable learning experience.
We believe the results of this investigation can benefit anyone who is interested in psychology or teachers who wish to provide their students with a better learning experience.